All right, so welcome back to Python. In this section, we're just going to solve exercises, right? So let's start with the first problem we have here. And by the way, this exercise we're going to solve is going to be mainly on strings, but a little bit of mathematical computing, all right? So let's get into it. Right, so the first question we have here says that get the name and age of a user, right? Use the data that you have gotten here, right? Use the data to compute the year of birth the user was born. Right, so let's see if we can solve this. All right, so the first thing you want to do is get the name, right? I want to say username. Let's use camel casing username, and you say this is equal to str, which is a string input, since we're trying to get it from a user, right? Then you say enter your name. Let's say enter your first name, right? Sorry, enter your first name and have this colon and a space, right? So the second thing they ask us to do is to get the age, right? So let's say user age, right? And I'll say this is age is an integer, right? So say integer, right? Input, since we're getting it from a user, right? Say okay, enter your age, right? So the question goes ahead to say use the data to compute the year of birth the user was born, right? So now it's not asking us to get the year of birth, right? It's asking us to compute it. Our program should be able to compute it. So what we want to say do here is say user year of birth, right? Wow, this is long though. All right, so year of birth. So what you want to do is say you want to say, all right, so this is 2022, right? I want to say minus the age, which is what we'll have here, right? Or you'll say minus this, right? Copy this. So whatever age the person puts in here, we can get the year of birth from it, right? So now I want to, oh no, it is not yet time for this. So now I want to get the output, right? I want the output to display, right? You should be able to display this, right? So now let's do this with an f string formatting, right? We'll say print, and we'll have our we'll have our f string, right? Then with the quotation mark, and we'll have to say okay, let's close it. I'll have to say username should come first. That we want to say curly braces. I hope you remember. I'll say username. Let's copy this and paste it here like this. That is to say whatever that is user your, let's say your, no, let's say you are how many years old. We'll say let's get this, let's grab this, copy, and we'll use our curly braces, Control V, and we'll say user, you are blah 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 years old, and your year of birth is, then want to say another curly braces, and I want to have this here, right? User year of birth. So we'll see. All right, so now let's run our program. Why is it not running? Print. Okay, I'm coming. Let me restart this canal. Restart canal. Yeah, restart. And let me see if there's a problem. Okay, so let's run. And now we have enter your first name. Let's say Lucia, right? Let's say enter your age. Age, which is an integer, which is 15. I'll say 15. I'll say Lucia, you are 15 years and your year of birth is 2007, right? So how about if someone is let's say 23 years old? We can say, okay, name, we can say Benjamin, and then we run. An age, we say 23, and run, you say Benjamin, you are 23 years and your year of birth is 1999. Wow. All right, so this is how to actually solve it using a string and an integer. Okay, so the next question says get the mailing address of a user. All right, so now you want to ask what are the properties of mailing address, right? When you want to mail a mail, send a mail to someone, you should have the person's name, right? So we'll say name, right? We can say this to let's say name, let's say Anderson Chooks. All right, and then we'll say city, and person might say okay, Festac Town, right? And then I say avenue, Festac, that's how we do it. Avenue, city, avenue, close, and you say something like Fifth Avenue, right? Okay, you say Fifth Avenue, and then you say close, and it will give you something like okay, H1 close. All right, so now what you want to do, and you say print, you want to get the mailing address of a user, so you want to say okay, close, and you want to say something like print name, right? And then you go ahead and say print. These are all strings, by the way, right? City, you want to say print, and you want to say avenue, yeah, and they want to say print parentheses, and you say close, right? All right, so let's run and see what we get. Okay, so you see Anderson Chooks, Festac Town, Fifth Avenue, H1 close. Do they include number in a mailing address? I don't think so. All right, so this is basically what you get, right? So now let's look at the last problem for this section, and it says compute a program that welcomes a user when the user enters his or her name, right? So compute a program that welcomes a user when a user enters his or her name, right? So let's see what we can do. So now we say user, right? And then we say input. So because whenever a user enters his or her name, you should get an input, right? Say please enter your name, and then we have our colon and a space, right? Then you say print. I think we have to use f string, right? So that is a strings formatting, right? So say f, and we'll have our quotation, and then we'll say hello. Okay, let's say hello, then we'll have to use our parentheses, and we'll say user, and then out of the parentheses we'll say hello, blah blah blah, welcome. All right, then now let's run. Enter name, you say Lucia, right? And you run, you say hello Lucia, welcome. So this is it for this tutorial on how to get a string and get information from a user and manipulate that information. So in the next one, we are going to actually look on numbers and floats, right? We'll try to solve one or two problems and then we proceed. All right, thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I will see you on the next one.